And like I say, now the king of Judah is in Babylon, being a king and playing king, I guess, or part of a king, or in a high place in the government. And so now the land is gone. You got people of other nations staying in the lands of Israel, in the land of Judah, and they are in Babylon, in Assyria, scattered out among the heathen. And now today, you got certain parts of Israel back in the land of Israel, but there's a lot of them still out somewhere else, and they don't even know they're part of the Israelites. They don't even know they're really a Jew. They're mixed in and intertwined with nations surrounding Israel, and they even hate them. Because you got all the nations surrounding Israel, and they hate them. They're enemies. And then they're probably their brother, physically, of one of the tribes, of one of the 12 tribes, but yet they've been in captivity so long through the years, they probably may have forgot who they are and their roots. So now you probably got them out there hating their own brother that they're a part of. They're part of their inheritance and they don't even know it. And but there's going to be a day that God's going to open their eyes and they're going to see who they really are and what they're really from. So now Babylon is the great ruler. Okay, so now Babylon is the one who is the big daddy in the time period. Because you say, well, the Bible's not true. It's talking about Babylon. And you look at history, Babylon existed. Their rule existed. You'll see through here where it prophesies of Persia raising up, overcoming Babylon, which they did in history. You can look at the history books. You got Greece raising up. You can see that happen. The Romans raising up. You see that happening. And it talks about it in the Bible too. So you can't tell me that this ain't true when there's historic facts in this that really happened. And you look at the history books, then it happened. So now Israel is scattered abroad. For one thing, not following the Lord. Hardening their hearts to Him. And not being obedient. They didn't obey the Sabbaths. They didn't, and that's the main reason why they was captive, besides the fact that they didn't obey the Lord, is they didn't give the land rest. But now, so that's the point where we're at now, is Israel's gone. They have no more kingdoms. They're scattered abroad, and Babylon is the great ruler of the nations right now. And that is 2 Kings. And like I said, I hope I wasn't scattered. It's hard to keep on track when you're going through king and king and king and king, and this king rose up in this part, and this king was over here, this king was in this side, and this king was on that side. All these kings of Judah and all these kings of Israel. And, it's kind of hard to keep track, but it's crazy. The women ate their kids because of the famine. And then the fact that there's angels around us, we don't see them. I believe that's like that today. I believe there's angels surrounding us today, and we don't even know it. For God is powerful. And we saw the work of Elisha. What he did. Because Elisha was, he had a double portion of Elijah. And he followed Elijah faithfully, and the miracles that Elisha did was he parted the river Jordan. He made the spring water drinkable. He sends bears to punish irreverent youth. Because when he was walking, there was kids mocking him, calling him a bald-headed man. And so he cursed them, and the bears went and killed a bunch of them. Predicts the Moabites' defeat. Multiplies a widow's oil so she could get out of debt. The woman bears a son. He resurrects her son. He purifies poisoned food. He heals Naaman's leprosy. He gives Gehazi the leprosy. He makes the axe head float. He gives special sight to the king's messenger. He blinds the Syrian army. And his bones resurrect a dead man. Because when they buried his bones, then they was burying someone else that died, and they threw him in there beside his bones, and his body touched Elisha's bones, and he rose up again, and he was alive. I mean, that's power. For God is powerful. But yet our minds only let us stay to limitation of grasping God's power. For our physical bodies cannot comprehend. We can't endure the real power of God. But if we turn to Him and trust fully in Him, He'll give us a glimpse of His power, I believe, and He'll give us dreams and visions. He'll give us peace in this unsettled world that we're in. And so our main thing is, if we're going to clean up, we need to clean up everything and not leave the high places in our lives. For God will carry us away captive. Not physically by another country, which our country is in debt. And that's possible that it could happen. I mean, we're in a different century, in a different age and all that. But America has a future and it's grim. But God will carry our peace away captive. Our hope. Our happiness. Our joy. For if we don't fully follow Him and take away the things that don't need to be in our lives, our happiness will be gone and our peace will be gone. For it's just a snare to us and a thorn in our side. And there's no point in just doing something halfway. If we're going to do it, we need to do it fully. So that is that is 2 Kings. So now we'll get to Chronicles, and it's basically like 1 Kings and 2 Kings. It's a sum up of everything, and lines and genealogies and all that of the nations, and from the beginning to the end, and just basically summed up in a different way, I guess. I mean, it should be a quicker book to go through, but at the same time, I mean, you know, even though it's repetitive about the same thing we just done in 1 Kings and 2 Kings, but I still want to do 1st and 2nd Chronicles just to go through it and do it and give you the things out of it that stick out to me. Thank you.